All right, listeners, ready for another deep dive. Today we're looking at loanDepot's Q3 2024 earnings call.
Yeah, this one's pretty interesting.
Definitely. Lots to uncover about their performance this last quarter and where they're headed.
Exactly.
So to do that, we've got the earnings call transcript right here in front of us, plus some stock info and some news articles about loanDepot, just to give us a little more context.
Should paint a pretty clear picture.
I think so. And there are some real highlights, too.
For sure, starting with that return to profitability.
Can't miss that, right?
Huge deal after some rough quarters.
Absolutely. $7 million adjusted net income.
Compared to a $29 million loss same time last year.
Big turnaround. Got to ask, what's fueling this?
Well, it's a few things, actually. We see a boost in origination volume, so they're writing more loans, and their margins on those loans are looking better, too. And, of course, got to give credit to the cost-cutting measures.
Yeah, those are paying off.
Absolutely. We can't forget Vision 2025.
Right. Vision 2025. That plan helped them navigate a pretty tough market.
It really did, and it looks like it worked.
So remind us, what were those 4 pillars of Vision 2025 again?
Okay, so first, they went all in on origination, especially those first-time home buyers.
Right, targeting that first-time buyer market.
Yeah, they saw the potential there and even came up with new products and services just for them, plus expanded their reach geographically.
Smart move. Going where the growth is. What about pillar number 2?
Pillar 2, that was all about investing for future growth. Think new home equity products. They even launched that cool digital underwriting engine, Mellow Now.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they also brought their servicing operations in-house. Now, these weren't just cost cuts. These were strategic investments to bolster their capabilities.
So setting themselves up for when the market improved.
Exactly, being ready for that upswing.
Okay, what about pillar 3?
That one was streamlining. Think simplified organizational structure, overhauled their compensation system to better reward revenue generation and loan quality.
So streamlining operations, becoming more efficient.
Right, and don't forget they cut down management layers too.
Getting lean and mean.
You got it. Then there's the 4th pillar, which revolved around aligning their cost structure with the market, basically tightening their belts. But they did it without sacrificing loan quality. Managed to cut annual non-volume related expenses by over $730 million since Q2 2022.
That's impressive.
It is very committed.
Absolutely. So it seems like Vision 2025 played a key role in this return to profitability, but now they've got this new plan, Project North Star.
That's right. And Project North Star is even more ambitious.
It's not just about staying profitable. It's about becoming a leader in the industry.
Exactly. A 3-year plan building on the foundation of Vision 2025.
Like they weathered the storm and are ready to really set sail now. So what's the plan? What are the key components of Project North Star?
Well, Pillar 1, they want to be the top partner for homeowners, again, focusing on first-time buyers.
There's that focus again.
Makes sense, right? And they're even talking about building this AI-powered platform to support clients through their entire homeownership journey, buying, selling, managing equity, everything.
Wow, so they're going beyond just being a mortgage lender. They want to be a lifelong partner.
That's the idea. Now, Pillar 2, that's about expanding their purchase mortgage reach, going beyond just geography.
Okay, so how do they plan to do that?
Partnerships, realtors, builders, they want to be involved at every stage of the home buying process.
So integrating themselves deeper into the whole system.
Exactly, makes sense, right? Now, on to Pillar 3. This one's about growing their servicing portfolio and keeping those top-tier recapture rates.
Top-tier recapture rates.
Meaning they want to hold on to those loans they originate and continue servicing them, creating that steady revenue stream.
Gotcha. So diversification and recurring revenue. Smart. What about Pillar 4?
Pillar 4 is interesting. They're aiming for a low-touch, automated mortgage processing workflow.
So streamlining and automating things, but what's the big picture goal with that?
Efficiency and accuracy, faster turnaround times, it all leads to a better customer experience.
And happier customers usually means more revenue.
Exactly. It comes full circle, using tech to improve things for the customer and boost their bottom line.
Makes sense. So what about the 5th and final pillar of Project North Star?
That one is all about their people. loanDepot wants to be the top employer in the mortgage industry. They're putting a lot of focus on attracting and retaining top talent, all while streamlining their organization and empowering their employees.
And achieve ambitious goals without a great team.
Exactly. And speaking of ambitious, let's talk about their outlook on the market.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they seem pretty optimistic about the housing and mortgage markets.
They are, and they mentioned the Mortgage Bankers Association prediction of a $2.3 trillion mortgage market in 2025. That's a big jump from where we are now.
Huge. Why so optimistic, though?
Well, they anticipate an uptick in housing transactions. And they're not just hoping, they're seeing trends, things like increased household formations and growing demand for home equity products. These are indicators of a market ready for growth.
So they're not just hoping for a recovery, they're seeing real signs of it coming.
Exactly. But they're not ignoring the challenges either. They know there's limited housing stock, affordability issues, and of course, interest rates are always unpredictable.
Always a factor, for sure. All right, let's move on to the Q&A part of the call. Were there any questions that really stood out to you?
Definitely. One analyst asked about managing non-volume related expenses, which is always a concern for investors. And loanDepot emphasized their focus on productivity initiatives and strategic staffing for revenue generation.
So find that balance between staying lean and competitive.
Right. A tricky balance to strike.
For sure. Anything else from the Q&A?
Yeah, there was also discussion about organic loan originator recruitment. So they're not just looking to buy growth, they're actively building their team.
A much more sustainable approach.
Definitely. And they even mentioned specific partnerships.
Oh, yeah. Like who?
Their joint venture with builders, specifically Smith Douglas, they're pushing that, especially in the South and Southeast. It's a smart move, aligning with partners who can help them tap into new markets.
Makes sense. Anything else from the Q&A we should touch on?
Well, they reassured everyone that sustainable profitability in 2025 is the goal. Regardless of what the market does, they're ready for different scenarios.
So they're not just banking on a good market, they're prepared for different outcomes.
Yeah, and they believe their cost control measures combined with potential for increased volume will put them in a good spot no matter what.
That's reassuring for sure. Sounds like loanDepot is prepared and ready to grow, but now it's time for everyone's favorite segment.
Oh, I know what's coming.
The This Is Not Financial Advice segment,
They'll have it.
where we let those imaginations run wild.
Disclaimer, we are not financial advisors. This is all hypothetical, just for fun.
Exactly, but now that that's out of the way, let's speculate. Based on what we learned from this earnings call, what's an outrageous but plausible trade idea?
Well, they're clearly focused on those first-time homebuyers, and they've got that whole tech-driven efficiency thing going on. I'm thinking a long-term call option strategy could be interesting here.
Okay, break that down for us. What are we thinking?
So we're betting that loanDepot's stock price will jump significantly by, let's say, 2025 if Project North Star works and the housing market bounces back like they're predicting. Their stock could really take off.
So we're buying call options with a strike price above the current market value and an expiration sometime in 2025, which gives us leverage to multiply our gains if the stock goes up brighter.
Exactly. But this is high risk, high reward. If the stock doesn't move like we're hoping or it drops, we could lose everything.
Options trading is not for the faint of heart, but it's fun to speculate. And remember, everyone, this is all hypothetical, not financial advice. Do your research, talk to a professional, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Couldn't have said it better myself, but it is a thought-provoking idea. loanDepot on the verge of a big breakout.
Well, they've been through a lot, that's for sure. But they seem to have come out stronger and more focused, not just waiting for the market to change. They're making moves.
What's really interesting to me is their dedication to innovation. Project North Star isn't just about surviving, it's about changing how they do business and using tech to improve the experience for everyone involved.
Yeah, that AI-powered platform they're developing is fascinating. Like they're trying to create a one-stop shop for anything and everything related to home ownership. Imagine managing your mortgage, exploring home equity options, even finding a realtor all in one place.
It's a big goal, but if they can do it, it could change the game, building a whole ecosystem for homeowners.
And I like how they're prioritizing attracting and keeping top talent.
Yeah.
They know that to make these plans work, they need the best people.
Exactly. In today's market, you can't overlook that. And it's not just about experience either. They're investing in training and developing new talent. That's a long-term strategy for a strong workforce.
And I think that's a good takeaway for any listener. Even if you're not interested in investing in loanDepot, building a strong team is crucial for any organization's success. It's about building a culture of empowerment, collaboration, and always learning.
Couldn't agree more. It's not just about the tech or the plans. It's about the people making it happen.
All right, let's wrap things up. What are the key takeaways from this loanDepot Q3 earnings call deep dive?
Well, the biggest news has got to be the return to profitability. After all those quarters of losses, they're back in the black, especially in this market. That's a big win.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like a fluke. They've made some real changes to how they do business to set themselves up for continued success.
Right. Another takeaway is their ambitious vision for the future, Project North Star. It's bold, and it's all about transforming loanDepot from just a mortgage lender to a complete homeownership partner.
Innovation, technology, putting the customer first.
Exactly. And finally, their optimism about the housing market is noteworthy. They see the challenges, but they're also seeing signs of recovery. That's encouraging.
Definitely. So all in all, it sounds like loanDepot is doing well. They've overcome challenges, learned from them, and are moving forward with a clear vision for the future.
Love seeing that. That's why we cover these earnings calls to see how companies adapt, innovate, and prepare for what's next.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. With their focus on those first-time home buyers and using tech to make things more efficient, could loanDepot become a real disruptor in the mortgage industry as the market recovers?
That's a great question. Definitely something to think about.
It is. All right, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Talk Tickers. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into loanDepot's Q3 2024 earnings call.
Until next time, happy investing.
Always. See you next time.
Yeah, it's a question worth thinking about. Could loanDepot really shake things up as the market recovers?
Yeah, I mean, their focus on that tech-driven efficiency in those first-time home buyers definitely puts them in an interesting spot.
For sure, it's like they're combining the best of both worlds, appealing to that growing segment of borrowers while making the whole process smoother.
And we can't forget their focus on building a really strong team. That often gets overlooked.
Absolutely, but it's key for any ambitious plan. You got to have the right people.
Makes all the difference. So, folks, we've covered a lot of ground today. From their return to profitability to that ambitious Project North Star plan.
It's been a deep dive for sure. We've looked at their vision, their market outlook, even had some fun with a little speculative trading.
Of course, that was all hypothetical and for entertainment purposes only. We're not financial advisors. Always do your research and talk to a professional before making any investment decisions.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
But hopefully this deep dive has helped you understand loanDepot's current position and their plans for the future. It's a company that's clearly not afraid to innovate and adapt.
They've faced challenges, but they seem to have come out stronger and more focused.
It'll be interesting to watch how they execute Project North Star and what impact they have on the industry over the next few years.
Definitely keeping an eye on them.
All right, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Talk Tickers. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into loanDepot's Q3 2024 earnings call.
Until next time, happy investing.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, we've got to wrap things up here. Any final thoughts before we go?
Let me see. I think their commitment to first-time home buyers and that tech focus are the things that stand out to me the most.
Yeah, they seem to be really doubling down on those areas.
Absolutely. And those are smart bets, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else that stood out to you?
Oh, their emphasis on building a strong internal team. That's crucial, especially when you're trying to disrupt an industry like this.
Yeah, you got to have the right people in place to make it happen.
Absolutely. All right. I think that covers it for me.
Okay, great. Well, folks, that's it for our deep dive into loanDepot's Q3 2024 earnings call. We've gone over their return to profitability, their ambitious plans for the future, and even had a little fun with a hypothetical trade idea.
Yeah, it was a good one.
But remember, everyone, we are not financial advisors, so don't take that trade idea as gospel. Do your own research and talk to a professional before making any investment decisions.
Always good advice.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon with another exciting episode of Talk Tickers. Until then, happy investing.
And do your research.
See you next time.